up with Angela Yee, and it's time for your Yee Tea. Now, let's talk about what's going on with Meta. And, you know, that's basically Facebook and Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO, has announced today that he is going to reduce censorship and get rid of fact checkers. Here's what he had to say.
We're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes, similar to X. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system.
Okay, well, this should be interesting because what he's saying is that now taking away these restrictions also means that a lot of the bad stuff won't get caught. So that is the trade-off for that. Now, here's what else he had to say about taking down posts and people's pages that are spreading misinformation or abusive.
We're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down.
This is all interesting, and obviously this is all happening because Donald Trump has been reelected, and he definitely wants to make sure that he is in good with Donald Trump. So it feels like, and remember, he was banned from the platform when back, 8 years ago? And so now to see that he's like, okay, we're going to do everything that Donald Trump wants us to do. This is pretty interesting. Dan, my producer, I got to ask you, what do you think this is going to mean? Because it's interesting to me also how people talk about concerns for safety, concerns for abusive things on social media, and also concerns for truth, but then to get rid of fact checkers.
Yeah, I'm really curious how this is going to play out, because also, like, what then deems, like, what becomes dangerous? Where's that gray area of, like, what deserves to be taken down automatically versus what needs to be reported? I feel like that gray area is just going to grow larger and larger, and no one's going to really know.
Because I feel like it's been such a conversation about kids and how social media is affecting the next generation.
Right.
And this is now a step backwards from trying to protect children, right?
Yes, but at the same time, you do have to understand that, like, social media did have to do something about, like, posts just getting taken. Like, people would say, like, nothing, and then the AI would scan it, and it would get taken down. So I understand the need to figure out something, but I'm really curious to see what's deemed, like, dangerous and wrong and how things get pulled down.
Last week, Instagram also did something different. They actually had accounts that were created by Facebook, and they were actually sharing real photos and commentary. They were having conversations that were generated by AI and engaging with other accounts using an AI conversational engine. So there was some backlash. So that's going to be interesting to see how AI is going to play a role in all of this too, moving forward, because it's Meta, you know. But we'll keep our eye on it and keep you guys updated on what's going on. I think one of the main things, though, is that we saw from this election that X has a lot of power. We saw previously Facebook has a lot of power in where people go to get their information. We need more things. Yeah. We need more options, and we need things that feel more safe.
Yeah, and Zuckerberg just brought in Dana White, the founder of UFC, to be on the board now. That's his third Republican hire, so it is interesting.
Joel Kaplan is the newly appointed chief of global affairs.
Yes, to see how politically driven this has become.
This is all them being allies for Donald Trump and doing what he wants them to do. All right, well, that is your Yee Tea. When we come back, under the radar, the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines, they're flying under the radar. Right now, here's some Kid Cudi, Day and Night.
Way up.